Donald Trump, the American president, decided to suspend the activities of USAID. I met somebody yesterday, a friend of mine from long ago, and she was telling me she's still working. She works with USAID, a project under USAID, and she's still working, but she says at headquarters, they have begun cutting down on numbers and remaining with just relevant stuff, but they are just waiting to hear communication that says that even their activities are being put to a halt. Now, videos have been circulating from American media about Uganda, what the US, especially through USAID, has been doing for Uganda. The impression is that USAID funds crucial projects only in Uganda. Now, the Ugandan LGBTQ community were claiming that they are facing anxiety and uncertainty after the aid freeze. Aid freeze meaning that the aid that has been coming in has been frozen
for 90 days.
For 90 days. Now, one of the people that leads one of those groups and so on was coming out to mention stuff and so on. But this morning we decided to listen to what the Americans think, first and foremost, and under Trump especially, because different Americans have different opinions and so on, but also to show what the money goes to when it comes to Uganda. What does it get to? And then, so let's listen to two videos from the US, a specific channel, but you must also understand that media, especially in countries like that, is biased.
Yes.
Biased towards a certain party or towards a certain thought.
Depending on what they want
to accomplish.
Yes.
Okay. So let's listen to that first of all.
Egypt, 20 million on a new Sesame Street show in Iraq, 4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan. I could go on, and I'm happy to provide this list to every single one of you. Democrats are outraged that the American people want to be, they want their taxpayers going to good uses, not stuff like this.
Well, we can add some more to the list. $43 million on a gas station in Afghanistan that had no customers. Still less, though, than what Biden paid for a charging station here. $1.5 million to promote gays, lesbians, and trans in Jamaica. Jamaican me crazy. $4 million for trans Serbians. $5.5 million for gay rights in Uganda. Over $6 million for men who have sex with men in South Africa. That's just how it was described. $17 million to promote inclusion in Vietnam. It's just probably another way of saying it went to trans. We carpet bomb
against the wishes of our Congress. It's really,
outlaw.
It's become an outlaw industry.
I mean, people are waking up right now, getting ready to take their kids to school and go to their jobs. Hardworking Americans, they work for these tax dollars, and then we're wasting it on. Look at this. This is where we're sending money to other countries. Serbian LGBTQ rights group, they got $1.5 million. Electric vehicles for Vietnam, $2.5 million. South African transgender HIV research, $30 million. Uganda LGBTQ rights group, $4 million. And Egyptian tourism, $6 million. And I heard on Sean's show last night, we gave, according to Eric Schmidt, our senator, $20 million to Sesame Street shows in Iraq.
And again, a lot of this is pushing an alternative agenda, right? And Uganda has their own government. They have their own people. They have their own say.
Right.
They may not want us pushing LGBTQ in their country, right? We're trying to force our values, or not. Sometimes it's not even our values. Sometimes it may be the values of special interests using taxpayer money. It has to stop. You say, how do we get this almost 40 trillion now in debt, right? $1 trillion a year just to service the debt. This is what's crushing America. If we want to remain the greatest nation in the world, we have to take these sort of haircuts. And it's not going to be hard. Everyone's like saying it's going to be hard. It's not going to be hard, but it does mean that a lot of these special interest groups are going to take a hit. They're very powerful. They have amazing resources. They control a lot, but they've never met the force of a...
There are projects in Uganda that receive funding which is genuine funding and useful funding in the health sector, in research, in all of that. Plenty of funding that comes in, and people are at a loss of jobs, loss of work because of the withdrawal of that funding. But we know that in a lot of good funding comes also weird kind of what. And you wonder what the agenda is. Why would you insist on promoting? Because they have used the word promoting. Yeah, you get. They've used the word promoting in there, which I find really, really, really terrible. I won't go in detail of this particular.
What stood out for me
so
is what the gentleman said, that, you know, you're trying to push an agenda to a country that has their own beliefs, but also even us here in the US, it's not necessary we believe in that. That is what stood out for me, because
the impression.
the impression was, oh, everywhere you look within the US, this is what is happening. But you forget, the country is so big, it has a very high population. And then the section of who are affected could be just, it could be even a 1%. I would put it that way. I do not have my research. I'm just putting a number out there. Even if I put it at 2%, compared to the 98 that is remaining, those other people who get onto social media, they push their agenda wherever you see, and then you start to think, oh, this is what is happening, and this is where the direction is. But also, here in Uganda, we've had cases where people are running away for greener pastures, and they go claiming
that they're being
tortured at home because their sexuality. Yes. Now that is where I'm looking at. Do you think with the government, with Trump's government, this is going to be an option for people who have been using it allegedly from Uganda to be able to run to America for greener pastures?
They can't any longer, because remember, within the US, all of that is being scaled and taken away. You get it. Every opportunity for them to take advantage of that is being taken away.